Hey YouTubers, so I have a special video right now. Yes, a very special video right now. I think you guys are going to enjoy this video right now. I actually have a cigar review right now. Yes, it's been a long time, a fucking long time since I've done a cigar review. Yeah, holy shit, it's like, I actually have a cigar review right now. So, yeah. So I'll actually be doing a cigar review. This is actually going to be a live cigar review. It's been years since I've done this. I mean, holy shit, it's been years. So anyway, yeah. So the cigar I'll be reviewing right now is actually a very special cigar. It's the Ashton ESG. Yeah, Ashton ESG Estate Sun Grown. So this is a super premium stick. I paid $29 for the cigar. Of course, that's Massachusetts, and we call it Taxachusetts. So obviously, it's going to be cheaper, in other states, obviously, and it's going to be cheaper, other places. But obviously here, it's close to $30. And especially other types of B&Ms or brick and mortars, it's going to be, around $30, $32, something like that. So this is a 22-year salute. I've had this cigar twice before, once back in 2011 and 2012, 2013. So it's been a long time since I've had this cigar. So anyway, let's get this toasting. Just look at the band. Beautiful band. Estate Sun Grown. This is Ashton's top-of-the-line cigar, their best cigar, even better than the VSG. Car going by. So yeah, I'm actually doing a live cigar review. This is actually very rare for me. But somebody commented on my video back in 2011 and basically said, I am from the future, you should re-review the cigar. And it was the Ashton Ashton ESG 22-year salute, this cigar right here. And I actually found it in my liquor store today. So the typical ass liquor store today. So I'm expecting this cigar to be good. I will tell you this, the first time I smoked this cigar, it had a huge strength kick at the end. Yeah, near the end of the cigar, it had a huge nicotine buzz. Like, I got very, very dizzy at the end. So I hope it doesn't do that to me now. But I have a full stomach, so hopefully it doesn't. Okay. One sec. Okay. One sec. Cigars especially make you salivate. Okay, there we go. One sec. Yeah, I'm spitting like crazy. Cigars make you salivate. So initially, I would say probably medium-bodied or so. It has kind of a wood like your pecker, being a silly ass, like a big ass cigar, your dick, your cock, whatever. Another car going by, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound negative. It's just, it's annoying when the cars go by because it makes noise in the background. So anyway, enough of that shit. So I wasn't trying to intentionally use the Lord's name in vain. So, okay, so back to the cigar. Yeah, complex flavors, kind of like a oak, a cedar, a wood, maybe a little bit of a bourbon flavor, like an alcohol-like flavor, maybe a little bit of a pepper, not pecker. Yeah, has a very, very good flavor. I would say it has a nice long finish also. It's probably medium bodied, medium to full bodied. Hopefully no strength at the end, because I know the first time I smoked this cigar, it gave me a significant nicotine buzz. And I was watching another reviewer back in 2013. And he was saying it gave him a significant head rush. He was saying it made him really dizzy. And for me, it made me really dizzy also. It definitely has a good flavor to it. Um, it is oaky, kind of like an oaked flavor, and don't be a smart ass. That doesn't actually mean I've taken a piece of oak leaf and licked it. You can equate smells and tastes in your mind, and don't be a smart ass. I haven't like chugged a bottle of oak whiskey. You can equate smells and tastes in your mind. I know the other reviewer who I saw doing the review of this said it's a fairly fast burn for a super premium stick. It's a fairly fast burn, so I'm not expecting to get like an hour and a half out of this. And I tend to smoke on the fast side, so I tend to take at least one puff a minute. So this is also a torpedo, which I am not a big fan of torpedoes in general. Torpedoes, figurados, bellicosos, pyramids, perfectos. I am not a big fan of those in general because they are all for marketing. It is all for marketing, and in general, it just creates problems. Yeah, this has a very interesting taste, very alcohol-like taste. It reminds me of, now I don't drink for the most part because of my fatty liver, because of my non-alcoholic fatty liver. But when I used to drink prior to my non-alcoholic fatty liver, it reminds me of like a bourbon or a whiskey. It reminds me of a bourbon or a whiskey. It also reminds me of like a really like heavy like syrupy taste. If any of you have had B&B before, which is Benedictine brandy, which is a after dinner drink that people drink oftentimes around the holidays, around Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, it reminds me of that. That's almost syrupy taste. Now, some people retrohale cigars. I retrohale pipe tobacco myself. I'm not going to retrohale this just because I'm afraid it's going to make me cough. Because I might do it a little bit, but cigars in general, when I retrohale them, they really tend to stuff me up. So they really tend to plug me up. So, and that's how, it's just not pleasant in general. So, and just let me feel around. Yeah, it's staying cool. It's staying cool. Whew. Yeah, I retrohaled a little bit. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it definitely has quite a oomph. Whew. Just like I took a line of black pepper. in general, when you retrohale through your nose, which is when you exhale through your nose, you're going to get more of a kind of a earthy, peppery, not peckery, but earthy, peppery taste. Kind of maybe like a black pepper, or like kind of like a woody taste through your nose. So it's it has a very good taste. It's warm, but it's staying very cool. I mean, I'm touching it right here, and I mean, it's a little warm, but I mean, it's just because I'm puffing it quickly, but I mean, it's staying very, very, very cool. I mean, up here, it's dead cold right here. Even down here, dead cold. Whew. Now my sinuses are draining. It's not allergies, it's just when I retrohale that. So I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit to take a couple breaks between puffs, just so it doesn't overheat, because I would not want to waste, you know, a $28 cigar, yeah. So, excuse me, I burped. So I just had lunch. Whew. Smoky. That's one of the reasons why I don't like smoking inside. The only time I smoke inside, for people who are wondering, is at my tobacco shop. My tobacco shop has a smoking lounge, and I smoke in the back room. In the lounge, it has like a TV, a coffee bar, and some chairs and a couch. That's the only time I smoke inside. I never smoke inside my parents' house. I never smoke inside my apartment. It's a violation of my lease. And the only time I really smoke indoors is in the garage, like when it's raining outside. But the only time I smoke like actually indoors is at my tobacco smoking lounge. I'm not a big fan of smoking indoors. Also, it's very bad for you because you're breathing in secondhand smoke, and that can lower your immunity to chest infections and colds, give you ear infections, that kind of stuff. So it's just not good in general to breathe in your own secondhand smoke. I mean, obviously, everyone knows that smoking is unhealthy. Yeah. Now that we're about, probably about almost an inch down, ash is a little flowery, which is not a problem. But I'm going to keep an eye on it just because I don't want to, to get on the floor or stuff. This is a cement floor, so I don't have to worry about it starting a fire or anything like that. But it's a little flowery, the ash. Um, the flavor of the cigar, still has that oaky taste, that oaky kind of almost like a bourbon taste. But it's getting a little bit heavier, and I'm actually starting to feel a little bit of a strength kick. Just a little bit. I am smoking on the fast side. I do smoke on the fast side, which I know the dickhead trolls will say, oh, you're wasting your cigar, man. You're wasting your cigar. It makes it taste terrible. Whatever, it's like, So I hope this doesn't have a huge strength kick because, yeah. So for people who are wondering, if you get a strong nicotine buzz, the best thing for you is sugar. Sugar, chocolate, dark chocolate, honey, molasses, soda, coffee with sugar, anything with sugar will help kind of dilute that feeling. So, but yeah, I hope it doesn't come close to matching the body. It likes a double puff, I will say that. This cigar likes a double puff. It likes you to double puff it because, and that's typical of torpedoes, at least in my experience, is oftentimes torpedoes, they like a double puff. I'm going to tap off this ash right here just because it's getting really, really, really flowery. So, Yeah, you can see right there. And this is what I do when I tap off the ash. I give it a quick little puff. Ooh, that was an interesting flavor. Interesting flavor. Almost like a cedar. So, almost like a cedar. Oh, I just got a comment on YouTube. One of my followers just gave me a comment, said Happy May Day. Yep, today is May Day 2025. Yeah, this is interesting. This is an interesting cigar. It's almost warm, the smoke. And I'm not smoking that quickly. I mean, I'm smoking fairly quickly, but I mean, I'm not like going like that. I mean, I'm taking my time. I mean, I'm only about an inch down, and this is probably about a 5-6 inch cigar. So I'm taking my time. It's still very warm, the smoke, which I don't mind that. It's just, I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit, I wish the smoke was a little bit cooler. I'm gonna let it sit for a little while. I have my phone right there. I'm recording on my phone. People ask me all the time, how do you record your videos? It's on my iPhone. So I don't use a camera. I don't use a mic. I don't use a camcorder. I don't use an iPad. I use my phone, my iPhone. So this cigar is good. I'm not getting any more nicotine, any more. Ow! Ooh, that hurt like a bitch. My fingernails need to be trimmed, and I just took my fingernail and just poked myself with my fingernail. Ow, that hurt. It didn't bleed, but I have a little indent there. Ow, that hurt. Yeah, I think it's about time to cut my fingernails. So, one sec. Cigars do make you spit a lot. So, anyway, as we go through the cigar, good cigar. I mean, is it worth, $28, $29? I don't know. I mean, it's like, I kind of would rather have a Padron, but I mean, that's just me. I'm kind of a Padron geek, I really like Padron cigars. Padron is my favorite brand of overall. It's my all-time favorite cigars. Everything from their, 3,000, 4,000, all the way up to their, 50 years, their 80 years, their 40 years, 45 years, 46 year cigar. It's my favorite cigar overall. And they say Padron is by far the best brand you can get legally in the United States. And for people who are wondering, no, you cannot get Cuban cigars. Cuban cigars are still illegal to sell, despite what you may have heard. Yeah, it's a good cigar. It still has that like alcohol like taste. It's very car going by. It's still very, very alcohol-ish. So it has a very like alcohol-like flavor. So one sec. Making me salivate. So anyway, so as I smoke the cigar, so we went to the Tip Glass liquor store today, the Tip Glass liquor store, and I got 3 cigars. I also got a pouch of tobacco. Excuse me. A pouch of Captain Black again. Captain Black White this time. The liquor store only has Captain Black White. So, yeah, this cigar is good. I mean, is it worth $28? I don't know. It's like, if you're living in the, tobacco paradise, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Pennsylvania, you could probably get this for, I don't know, like $20. I don't know. It's like, I've never been down there, so I don't know the exact prices. But I mean, you could probably get this for a lot less. I mean, I think the first time I got this, I actually got it online, and I think it was $20 even online. So that's how much I paid for it online. But I mean, nowadays, this cigar is, I mean, prices have gone up. I mean, prices have really gone up in the last, 14 years. Prices have really gone up. Your average cigar nowadays is $10. Your super premium cigars are $20+. So prices have really gone up. Yeah, the ash is very flowery. That might speak to kind of how the soil was grown. But the ash is pretty flowery. It's not leaving a mess or anything. It's just kind of flowery. It's syrupy. It also has a syrupy taste. Has a very, very, what I would call syrupy taste. Buzz-wise, nicotine-wise, it's at a mild to medium right now. I'm getting a little bit of a head rush, a little bit of a buzz. I had a pipe this morning. So, I mean, I have a pretty high nicotine tolerance in general. I have, especially for cigars, I have a pretty high nicotine tolerance in general. And pipe tobacco. There's only a handful of cigars and a handful of pipe tobacco that's really made me sick. Somebody actually asked me, I think it was maybe about a week ago, 5 days ago, somebody actually asked me, I think it was on Sunday actually, this past Sunday, somebody actually asked me, do I still get nicotine buzzes? Do I still get head rushes from tobacco? And the answer is yes. I still get nicotine buzzes. Now, I know cigarette smokers, after a few years, they don't. But I still get I still get the nicotine buzz, even from pipes and cigars. And keep in mind also, I don't inhale. I don't inhale when I smoke pipes and cigars. So the nicotine is being absorbed in my mouth. It's being absorbed through my saliva, my tongue, and also through my mucosal membranes. So I'm not getting as much of a buzz if I was going to inhale. And I am not going to even try to inhale this. Not only because it's terrible for you to inhale, but also because it would make me cough my fucking brains out. So it would make me cough my brains out. So okay, we are probably about the halfway point right now. We're about at the halfway point. So, oh, there's another car going by. Oh, and of course that car is playing music. I hope I don't get a copyright ding. That car is playing music, so yeah, fingers crossed I don't get a copyright ding. So, At this point, it has a very, very alcoholic flavor. Very, very, very alcoholic flavor. It really, really rich, like liquor flavor. Very, very, very alcoholish flavor. And of course, that guy's playing his music super loud. It's like, yep, chugging along, driving his car, playing loud music, if I need that in my video. Which people ask me all the time, why don't you use music in your videos? It's because I'm a partner. Partners cannot use music in their videos. So, yeah, this is a good cigar. It's probably going to end about 35 minutes or so. Probably another like 10, 15 minutes or so. And that's, I smoke pretty quickly. It's a good cigar. And hopefully it doesn't have a whole lot of nicotine near the end. Some cigars, they tend to stick a lot of, high nicotine tobacco at the end. And that's what gives you the buzz, the head rush. Excuse me. So, yeah, is it worth $28, $29, $30? I don't know. It's like, it's a great cigar. It has a great draw. Part of the reason I smoke Padron cigars is because they have such a good draw in general. I hate cigars that have a tight draw. And people are like, well, it doesn't overheat the cherry. It doesn't overheat the cherry when you have a tight draw. It doesn't matter. It's a pain fighting with it, if it has a tight draw. I would rather a cigar have an open draw than a loose draw. Or I would rather have it have a loose draw than a tight draw. Yeah, almost time to take off the band. You can see I am 27 minutes in, and that's about 25 minutes of actual smoking time. So, so far, not much of a buzz. Maybe a little bit, but I'm not getting much of a buzz. Of course, my nicotine tolerance could be much higher nowadays as compared to 2011. Keep in mind, back in 2011, I'd only been smoking for 2 years. I've been only smoking for 2 years, and now I've been smoking for over 16 years. So it could be my nicotine tolerance is a lot higher nowadays, and I don't get as much of a buzz. Excuse me. Yeah, but this cigar is expensive. It's an expensive cigar. I mean, even in places where it's tobacco paradise, it's a super premium cigar. So you're going to be paying $20 for this easy. Easy $20. Maybe a little bit cheaper by the box, but you're going to be paying a lot of money. It's like, Okay. I think it's finally time to take off the band. Oop. Start to tear the wrapper. Lovely. There's the band right there. Kind of ripped a little bit. And I know people are going to say, the dickhead trolls are going to say, oh, you didn't wait long enough to take off the band. Dude, this cigar is down to the nub. I know you're supposed to wait as long as possible before you take off the band, but oh, now a car going by. So anyway, so we're down to the last third of the cigar. The last third, it's doing well. It's starting to get pretty hot. So it's starting to get pretty hot. Overall, the nicotine content is not as high as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to have much more of a nicotine buzz. Yeah, this is what happens typically when it gets down to this point, is the draw gets a lot more constricted. That's typically because there's a lot of tar at the end. There's a lot of tar at the end, and the tar kind of constricts the draw. Yeah, starting to get kind of like washed out flavors. So I think I'm going to be ending it pretty soon. Anyway, so great cigar. I give it out of 10, an 8 out of 10 easy. So anyway, that's about it. So have a nice day. Pretty cool. Bye-bye.